Marvelous blessing permeate my mind. Whatever merit I have gathered through postations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. O a a e e o o r r l l e e o o a ga 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 nga sa 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 ja nya ta 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 na ta 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 na pa 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 ma yara la va sha sa ha ja so ha ye dharma he te tra ba va he tin te ke ta dan ga ta he yo va te te ke sa yo ne ro de wan bo de ma sharma na ye so ha. Okay, page 10. Om Benza Sato Samaya Mani Palaya Benzara Sato Dino Kedadro Me Bawa Sudekayo Me Bawa Supekayo Me Bawa Anerado Me Bawa Sarva Siddhe Mintrayanza Sarva Karma Sisai Me Siddhan Shayang Guru Aho Bangaven Sarva Tadangata Benzara Mamim Benzarba Mahasamaya Sadoa Om Sambara Sambara Bimana Sara Mahan Zamba Om Samara Samara Bima Rakara Mahan Zava Hom Be Om Sambara Sambara Mahan Zamba Hom Pe Om Ritze Ramane Tavartaya Hom Pe Om Repemane De Shore Hom Om Ahom Om Ahom, page 13. Lama Cheno, Guru, please think of me. Essence of Buddha of the three times, source of holy Dharma of the scripture and experience, master of the Sangha, the noble example, root Guru, please think of me, great treasure of blessings and compassion, source of the true attainments, bestower of whatever enlightening activity is desired Ru Guru, please think of me. Kind Ru Guru, please think of me. Look up at me from above my crown, the body of great bliss. Let me see my own awareness, the true face of Dharmakaya, and attain awakening in one life. So page 15. All mothers and beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those great obstacles on my path to liberation and or knowingness, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and safely establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. Thus, unto achieving enlightenment, I will perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind until death. I will perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind from now until this time tomorrow. I will perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Know that I have found a precious human body with freedom and connection, which will be difficult to find again. I must practice to attain the state of the unsurpassed enlightenment for the benefit of all others. On Saint-Jean, seeing that the host, Lord of death, might take my precious life at any time, I shall consider the impermanence of others and myself. Wherever in samsara one is born, true well-being cannot be found. I shall therefore turn away from worldly pleasure and enter the path of nirvana. To make this life of freedom and connection meaningful, I shall abstain from all misdeeds resulting from a mind afflicted by the three poisons. I shall diligently strive in cultivating virtue and shall protect my will, vows, and my samaya of the three doors. Page 24. actually 25. Before you appearing in the form of Vajradhara, the Lord who provides all Buddha's families, the Guru is a secret upping a kitchen of lotus and the moon on a precious throne, and the center of which granting tree that emerge from a lake is surrounded by the ocean lake, example of a Kaju masters. In front is the Bangawan Chakra Sambara, together with the house of Yadam, that is of the 4 or 6 classes of Tantra. To his right are the Buddhas of the 3 towns, and on with the major and the minor mice, together with the 1,000 Buddhas of these excellent eons. Behind is the Great Mother, Panjaparimita, and the discourses of the sutras and the tantras, which naturally resound the Dharma to his Dharma to this left are the Bodhisattva protector of the 3 families surrounded by the 3 families surrounded by this example of the 3 vehicles, noble singer, Sangha, surrounding everything is in all connect, house of earth, bound protector, gathering like glowing, blowing clouds. Sorry, mistake lots. Namo, until I attain enlightenment, I take refuge in the empty essence, which is the Dharmakaya, the Guru, the Buddha. I take refuge in the clear nature, which is the Sambhonakaya, the Yadam, and the Dharma. I take refuge in all pervasive compassion, which is the Nirmanakaya, the Dakini, and the Sangha. Grant your blessing so that the minds of myself and all sentient beings, limitless as space, follow the Dharma. Grant your blessing so that the Dharma leads to the path. Grant your blessing that the path might clear away confusion. Grant your blessing so that the confusion may transform into wisdom. So now I think we go to the teaching so we can skip the Vajrasattva and the mandala. Also Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga we already shared, right? Last week? I think so. Mandala we skipped, and then Guru Yoga we finish. I think today is the first, the special preliminary of cultivating love, compassion, the bodhicitta. That's correct?
I think so, Khenpo.
Are you sure we finish Guru Yoga?
I'm not sure, and no one is sure. So you have to tell us.
I don't remember. Guru Yoga is, I thought I did.
I think we finished.
How many people say finished? Okay, so that means we finish. 1 can be mistake, 2 could be, 3 okay, 4, 5, 6 is 100% sure, no mistake. So not diluted, that's great. So today then the special preliminary of cultivating love, compassion, the bodhicitta. Usually, generally, I told you preliminary practice is in the Tibetan tradition is finished. So generally, Buddhist preliminary practice is a 4 thoughts meditation. And then specifically Tibetan Buddhist called uncommon preliminary practice. We have a postation, refuge, Vajrasattva, mandala, that four is called four preliminary practice, uncommon, that finish. The extra Guru Yoga also finish. So no, another more preliminary practice is called special preliminary of cultivating love and compassion bodhicitta. So this one is who going to practice Mahamudra. Oh, sorry, my chair is falling. Almost upside down. Mahamudra practice. So then that practitioner have to do this special preliminary practice. So preliminary practice is actually dependent. You know, this love of compassion can be mean practice, can be preliminary practice. So someone going to meditate Mahamudra, then this love of compassion is preliminary practice. This preliminary practice is called special preliminary practice. So preliminary practice has three differences there. Common preliminary practice, uncommon preliminary practice, special preliminary practice. So this teaching is going to directions going to the Mahamudra practice. That's why followed by these three different levels preliminary practice. First is cultivating love. So people who are going to meditate practice love, so then there do have to chant this prayer. Whatever joy and happiness there is, all comes from a mind that seeks the benefit of others. Therefore, may all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have a mind of loving kindness. So why we have to cultivate love? The answer is we want happiness. We want free from suffering. That's why we have to cultivate love. Because whatever joy and happiness there is, all come from a mind that seeks the benefit of others. See? Joy, happy, true happiness, or its source is meditate, love, compassion, bodhicitta. So love is true our protection. You know, when love arises in your mind, you are free from suffering. When love arises in your mind, you are happy and joy. So that's we don't know the samsaric beings. Only these spiritual practitioners recognize that. So that's why they share for us. Samsaric beings, because due to ignorance, and then want happiness but create causes of suffering. Only also can be get temporary happiness, but then temporary happiness is a suffering of change. Its happiness is changed to suffering. That's all the worldly beings looking happiness is part of the suffering of change. So then spiritual beings, practitioner, meditators looking happiness is not suffering of change, looking for permanent happiness, not only temporary happiness, not only this life something kind of like, joy, happy, peace, looking for more future lives, happiness. So that happiness is source is love meditation. Who has true love in the mind, the person is always joy and happy. Then the samsara, it's we can say the emotions really cannot destroy their happiness. Love is become true protection. But we don't know that, samsaric beings. Then samsaric beings, we have a love, but our love is dependent. Actually, also source is attachment. So dependent, think about one parent has couple kids. So which kid is good, then parents love that kid. Which kid is not great, then parents no love for that kids. So that means is love is dependent. So your husband, wife is great, then you love, not great, then no love, means also it's dependent. So someone make more money, then love. No make money, everything is dependent on you, then no love. So that love is the best on the attachment, not true love. So that love is not really causes of happiness. This kind of, when we sharing here, is whatever joy, happiness there is, all comes from a mind that seek the benefit of others, not from that kind of mind. So in this one, we see is true love and the compassion is not dependent. It's unconditional love, compassion, bodhicitta. So that is source of happiness, permanent happiness. So that's the reason we have to cultivate love. We have to practice love because we want joy, happy. Joy, happiness, source is love, meditation. So when this practice not just comes without teaching, that's why we have to follow this idea. We have to meditate. Generally, worldly love, whatever people talk about love, is always condition. So we have to go more beyond the condition love meditation. Samsaric love, we don't have to share, we don't have to talk. Everyone naturally has, because due to habituation, samsaric habituation. So everyone has, samsaric beings knows, everyone knows. That's why it's samsaric love can be causes of suffering, can be heartbroken. Unconditional love never give you heartbroken. Samsaric love is always, causes of samsara, suffering. So that's why we don't have to share, everyone knows. And then this unconditional love, we have to meditate, follow the spiritual path. So unconditional love, we have to share the teaching, you have to listening teaching, you have to cultivate, you have to meditate. Otherwise, not just naturally arising. That's why here recite, thus, and then consider your mother. So we have to meditate our mother first. Generally, all these worldly beings love their own mother. That is the highest level example. So we cannot get any other better examples. That's why we're using our own mother love meditation. Who was kind to you in 4 ways? So the mother is kind for us 4 different ways. Such as how she care for you affectionately. So we have to think this, cultivate affectionately. Then this here is introduction is very short. So it's a introduction you wanted to follow more longer, and then it's in the stage of meditation book has more longer, more clear, instructions about this love meditation. You can find there is more detail. So mother kindness like carry us in the mother's womb in the stomach 9 months. So all this during this time, mother is no comfort, no easy. So we have to cultivate everything. Then this blood, bone bodies come from its mother. So we have to cultivate that, meditate. Especially, who has difficulty issue with the parents, mother. So they really have to put effort and meditate. This one. Sometimes people say, oh, I don't love my mother. I cannot connect with my mother. So because due to, small tiny problems and their own afflictive emotions too. So then some, just ultra level obstacles. The don't recognize the mother is controlled by emotion. So then we don't separate emotion and the mother. So then pointing to the mother's problem. That's why we have to meditate and create a separate mother's emotion and the mother. Mother is love, but controlled by emotion. Due to that, sometimes the mother is not nice to child. So due to that, child is like always criticize parents and no love from parents. Mother, no connections, lost. So then we have to think mother's emotion and the true mother have to create a separate. Then mother carry us 9 months in the stomach. So then mother avoid like many things during that time. So that's also kindness. Otherwise, mother can be drink alcohol and can be, joy, dance, many samsaric activities. Temporarily, there are samsaric beings enjoy. So that many things they have to avoid the mothers. That's also kindness. Then we are survived because also mother's kindness due to that. Otherwise, we cannot be take birth. So can be abortion, can be many things that have, conditions to can destroy us inside the mother's womb. So then we also think, oh, that is the mother's problem because my mother afflicted emotion, attachment. That's why they created me. They not love me. Their attachment. That's why, so create me mistakenly. So some people think that too. That's also our own perception. So we have to clarify that. So without the mother's love, not possible to survive, cannot be birth. And then even you take the birth, without the mother's love, not possible to survive. When we are baby, so we are not independent. 100% rely on our parents. Love, love, mother's love. So have to cultivate that. We don't know how to eat. We don't know how to talk. We don't know how to walk. We don't know how to put clothes ourselves. We don't know how to go to restaurants, take showers, anything. This whole thing is 100% rely on the mother and the parents. If mother doesn't love, if they don't put clothes, you die. It's cold. You don't have too much heat from your body. You know, if mother is no love, you're going to be die in the heat. You don't have the protection yourself, heat protection, you know. So that's thing about that. And without the parents, mother love, we can die hunger. We don't have a samadhi, the food. You know, natural food come from same malaria, has. Meditate or realize their hearts, right? We can die. We don't have mothers, you know, giving the drinks, milk. Not possible to survive. All this kind have to cultivate the thing kindness. Then giving education, without mother's education, giving educations, we don't know anything. So teach one by one, everything step by step. So all we have to cultivate the thing, kindness, and then, you know, we can let go. Even you have some issues with the parents and the mother problem, so you can let go everything. Otherwise, if you don't cultivate this, you can always stuck with some issues, small problems. Then you also can cultivate, I just told you, mother sometimes afflicted by emotion control our own mother. And due to that, sometimes mother is not nice to for children, but that's also mother no choice, because even she love kids, but controlled by emotion. We have to recognize that and let go and cultivate love to the mother, and then want to really benefit your own mother, wanted to help that your own mother. So that feeling we have to create in the mind. Meditate, cultivate, meditate. That's more powerful than actually you physically doing something. You know, meditate, cultivate, that create love. That is the love is power. The power love is benefit your mother, benefit yourself too, because it's become the love is arising in your mind. It's through your protection. So without that, you know, giving food your mother, giving some, you know, like material things to mother, that also you maybe have mind didn't have that very strong, you know, kindness. Some like you think, oh, I have to do this, no choice. You know, truly you're not really in the come from your mind, but you have to do something, then that is not that powerful. So that's why meditation is more powerful. It's okay for some, is a song's background is okay for you?
It's not bad, Kempo. It's muffled in the background.
Okay, if it's too noisy, and I can go to my room. I can share with you very peaceful cabin here. Where is my cabin? Can you see or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is a bottom. And then, oh, this is a stair go up to cabin. Oh, this is my cabin. top there you can hear the beach sounds. This is my yacht. My is temporary, okay, here. Very temporary, my. Temporarily, I can offer you my cabin for you. So then, yeah, we have to, this practice, meditate is more powerful, and even our parents is not exist. It's also, you cultivate this laws for your parents, then that's also benefit your parents too. Only we can benefit our parents is meditate love, this love meditation that really, you know, benefit for them. We can pay back to our parents, cultivate love meditation. So then the way we take the birth in samsara is not only one this lifetime. We take birth in samsara is many lifetimes. It's, Buddha said no one can count. Buddha said he can count how many saints in the Ganges River. Saints, you know, saints is in this one. Saint. He can count all these saints in the Ganges River. But Buddha said cannot count one person take how many take, you know, birth in samsara. So that means then all these human beings, no questions are used to our mothers. Then all the animals, no questions used to our mothers. So that's why we have to say all mothers and human beings. And who meditate, cultivate love, that truly all mothers and human beings come from the mind. If who don't meditate this, no cultivating, then it's everything's words. So that's why in this case, who wanted to meditate, the Mahamudra, practicing there, this is level when you get in the cultivate the love, always cultivate, meditate, love meditation. So one day you fear everyone is used to your parents, no hatred to your enemies. So you really wishing your enemy has happiness, then that time your love meditation is successful. It's reached the goal. So that arises in your heart. That's the love meditation, and then it's called go more beyond its unconditional love meditation. It's called immeasurable love. Immeasurable love. So when it's successful, your meditation, love, when it's completion, its rich goal is all beings have truly happiness. That time your goal is reached. Especially our heat-treated one has wishing have happiness, then that is reach the goal. So long as you have that mind, you have absolute truth protection, then you no longer suffering in samsara. That love is absolute truth protection. Even we don't have other any practice, that love is power, is absolute truth protection. We are no longer suffering in samsara. So that's why here, how she care for you, affectionately, and so forth. Then consider how all other sentient beings have cared for you with just such kindness when they were your mother in past lives. Finally, reflect upon this thought until you have developed an uncontrollable mind, wishing that all sentient beings may experience happiness and possess a mind of love, the cause of happiness. That's the love meditation. Then second is cultivating compassion. May self-grasping ignorance. The cause of all intolerable suffering that mother sentient beings, limitless as space, must endure in the six realms. Be fully pacified, and may all beings care for one another with altruistic compassion. So now we look to all these samsaric beings suffering. Why is it suffering? Because due to self-grasping. So who has a self-grasping? The person, the being is more suffering. Who has a strong self-grasping, the being is more suffering. They create more causes of suffering. That is no conscience is true. We look toward this world, this world history. The problem, human beings suffering, animals suffering, is create risk. The source is self-grasping. Then the grasping is depending individual, situation and kind of power. We have a self-grasping, we create samsara, our ability, okay? Then someone is a village leader, your village leader, they're more power than, the village people. That person created that kind of like samsara causes create. Then you are cities mayor or something, that person created that kind of like, causes of samsara. Then you think about the country's leader, they created their ability, causes of samsara due to their grasping, self-grasping. This all the samsara, everything is based on the self-grasping. The bugs ability, they also create a samsara as their self-grasping. Due to that, they create the causes of suffering each other too. Then human beings' ability, because it's our ability, different power levels, they create the causes of samsara, suffering. So that's why we see some in this world leaders create the causes of suffering because due to the self-grasping. Actually, anyone human being, mostly who has that power, going to create the causes of suffering, samsara, because due to self-grasping. The root is self-grasping. That's the reason also we, cannot really strongly blame, pointing the leader's problem, because someone who has that kind of power, the person has a self-grasping, they're going to create the same thing again. That's why samsara never we get learn. We don't create, perfectly always create causes of suffering. The history or the go that direction, future also go that direction, same thing, because it's samsara power who going to run, powerful persons. Powerful persons means who has a strong self-grasping. that is negativity is very strong. You see clearly. Negative condition is very strong. Samsara is come from self-grasping. And that's why who has very strong self-grasping, that person is temporarily winner in the samsara. That person is going to control samsara. That person going to create the samsara. That's why samsara never end. So you change the kings, you change the presidents, you change the generals, still same thing again. Because next person also samsaric person who has emotion, who has self-grasping, who has more strong self-grasping, that person going to church. Then samsara is never perfect. So that's what I call defect of samsara. So look here. Self-grasping ignorance, the cause of all intolerable, I think, suffering. The mother sentient beings, limitless as space, must endure in the 6 realms. So this all 6 realm beings stuck in the samsara is due to our self-grasping. So be fully pacified. We have to fully pacify our self-grasping. Otherwise, cannot make world peace. If who pacify self-grasping, then that person is symbolize peace in the world. So who has self-grasping that talk about the peace is also only words. They are no truth. They just become actually true liars. It's talk about the peace, you know, because who has self-grasping emotions that talk about the peace, it's no truth. That's why peace, no power. So who fully pacifies self-grasping, then it's powerful. That is true peace. And may all beings care for one another with authentic compassion. If like pacify the self-grasping, that person has true compassion. The compassion is true protection. So that's why we have to cultivate the compassion. Then when you cultivate the compassion, we also have to recognize these all 6 realm beings used to add our loved ones, mothers. When they are mothers, they protect us, all kind of suffering. So now we have to look all our mothers suffering. We have to see our mothers suffering. That's why we have to protect our mothers suffering, and we wishing our mothers, loved ones free from suffering. That's called compassion meditation. Compassion is antidote to self-grasping. Compassion, self-grasping cannot be same moment in your mind. When you have grasping, that time you don't have a compassion in your mind. When you have a compassion, that moment you don't have a self-grasping. When you have a compassion in your mind, that time you are 100% spiritual person. When you have self-grasping in your mind, very strong, you are 100% samsaric ordinary beings. So we can be, you know, samsaric beings, we can be spiritual beings each moment. Then your compassion is become strong, used to habituate, stay longer, then you can be more spiritual bodhisattva. You know, less samsaric beings. So this too is always fighting in our mind. You recognize, when especially we are practicing Dharma, we are in the war with our emotions. So we usually pointing war is auto level, but actually every moment our emotion and this compassion, positive, enlightening quality is fighting. It's a war going on all the time, each moment. So truly, war have to winning. Winning is our compassion. Compassion arise in your mind. You are winner. So spiritual quality, samsaric quality, the samsaric cause, spiritual cause, you're always fighting. That's why we need, support. Support is spiritual beings, Yadam deity. Support is our gurus. Support is our dharma, this practice. So mindful meditation is always a support. Then we have to create true love in our mind. That is arise love, compassion, arise your mind. Then we are winner our samsaric war. So that's the true. We have to recognize ourselves. We always talk about the war is pointing outside author level, and we don't look into our own situation. We can be afflicted emotion 100%. Then we telling others, oh, you are winner, you are loser, war talk about. Actually, afflictive emotions very strong in our mind. We are lost 100%. But we don't recognize that. So that's why love and compassion is the most important essence of the spiritual practice. Without these two qualities, we cannot call spiritual person. So without these two, then Dharma practice is no essence. Without this, then all the rituals, whatever drawing activity, auto level great is no essence. Even you create charities, generosities, whatever you're doing, patience is no essence. Practice patience also no essence. That's why the true Dharma is love and compassion have to arise in our mind. Long as love and compassion arise in our mind, we have true protection, we have true practice Dharma. Then whatever we do, activity has power. Benefit ourselves and benefit for others. Without these two qualities, then cannot benefit ourselves, cannot benefit for others. So that's we recognize, spiritual being who has this quality, they really truly benefit others, they benefit themselves. So now we are on the path, we have to cultivate, we have to meditate, we have to practice. We don't have this quality right now, but we have to create this quality. Log to example is who has this quality. Who has this quality? They're 100%. They're happy and joy, free from suffering. So they are our example. They are our, auto level protection and the supports for our practice. Then when you see these realizers, image, pictures, and listening the teaching is more powerful. Really powerful. They don't have to talk lots, but more power than ordinary people talk 100 words, then this realizes one picture you see, image, you know, that has more power benefits. Yesterday, full moon day. This month is first month like year is called horse month. Horse month is Tibetan calendar, you know, lunar calendar, horse month. First month is a horse month. So that month is Tibetan calendar is followed by the actually Dharma, is Buddha's activities. So the first horse month is called Chomtor Dava. Chomtor Dava means miraculous month. Why is it called miraculous month? When Buddha enlightened, when he shared the teaching, he has many competitions. Especially they have 4 different competitions, other religions. So then the king make decision, you know, Buddhist is can be religion or not. It's kind of like you have to accept, you know, like no, it's a become your country, so you have to accept your country, right? So otherwise we don't recognize your country. So same, you know, you are become different other religion, you are another spiritual path, you have that time they have to accept, otherwise the kings, the laws and the rules, I think not allowed. I don't know, I don't have that, I'm that, even that time could be I was there, but I don't remember, maybe I'm not that time there. So just listening to the teachers and the stories, you know. So follow that. Laws like, you know, they have to approving. So they have a competitions, then try to stop, then not allowed accepting, you know, the Buddha is a new teaching kind of a, you know, religion. They don't try to stop that accepting. Same is like you in, they're not the, you know, countries, they try to not accept your own country. Example, many countries try to become part of UN, there who other countries stop that because they control other ones. We know that a lot in the world. You understand what I'm talking about? So same, you know, that time also they try to stop. Then king says we have to put miraculous power. So if the Buddha is winner, so we can going to accept the religion. Then they use the miraculous power. Starting, I think it's I don't remember exactly which day. Each day they use the power, miraculous power, comparing. You know, they all has in the story. Then of course other religion also could be something their own story. But Tibetan, some his story is like more beyond our ordinary perceptions. So there also has, of course, like story could be human being, our perception follow miraculous, you know, comparing competition like how follow, and then realize that they have a higher level practitioner, they have their own perceptions too. So Tibetan many story, the Buddha's this miraculous power is, I think, high level realizers perceptions, very hard to understand. So Buddha showed the powers, others like, you know, become no more talk, mute, you know, everyone's mute. They don't have to say anything, naturally mute. That kind of, you know, that they have lots of you know, it's in the history story. Then use Buddha power, miraculous. The others is like scared and nervous and run away and fears. So many things that they talk about, but I don't know everything that, you know. So it's kind of a more high level, I think, realizers perceptions. In the human being, the perception, just ordinary human being perception, they're debated. They're debated. The king asked, you know, debate. When they debated, so Buddha asked questions. These other religions, the spiritual, you know, who's the highest level supreme teacher, and then they're lost because he asked question and giving answers. Talk about. They have a very beautiful dialogue together. So Buddha asked, which is most important to your religion? So number one, which one is your important? Then this Burma say it's a quality. It's you know, the he said I think it's like qualities, like person's quality. It's good qualities. So then that upset other Burmas. They're actually the except the first quality is the lineage, you know, caste. The Burma's caste, something, you know. Then Buddha say, okay, caste is not important. So they lost the caste, like the kind of like important supreme kind of the highest level quality, but they lost that kind of way, you know, they lost debating. Other Burmas upset with their teacher, their own teacher, and they lost debating. So that kind of, you know, they become 4 more days 100% winner. So miraculous winner. So that's the in this month. Then 4 more day, His Holiness shared the teaching, Dalai Lama. And within 2 years, he didn't talk in the publicly, face to face. So actually, day before night, in us here, he shared teaching in Dharamsala. So I was in the youth streaming. I watched the Facebook live. I didn't see the first part, but I see the, you know, middle part and end of sections. So end of there, he gave the Bodhisattva vows. So what he's sharing the Bodhisattva vow is he said, you know, you're receiving the Bodhisattva vow, teacher who has Bodhisattva's quality. So that means like he has Bodhisattva quality. Teacher who has realized emptiness, teacher who has bodhicitta, from them you're receiving Bodhisattva vow. So that's the example. So we talk about a realization person means he has emptiness, you know, realization. He has bodhicitta realization. I mean the realized bodhicitta practice. So that's the example for practitioner. So that kind of teacher is spiritual, high-level practitioner. I mean, we receive teaching that from them is more powerful because they have truly practiced these teachings. Practice. So now we sharing this love, compassion. Who has this true practice, then their benefit for others, their, of course, they benefit their own and they benefit others. Then we always, as you know, our teacher Garchen Rinpoche, he has this practice, bodhicitta. That is his main practice, bodhicitta. He always talk about bodhicitta. Everything is bodhicitta. So sometimes people call everything is bodhicitta teacher. Garchin's name is, his nickname is everything is bodhicitta. So that, you know, because they has their practice, this bodhicitta, love, compassion. Then they always talk that, share that, they recognize their that benefits, power. So we learn from them and we think about these teachers. That's also really helpful when you cultivate the love and the compassion. The one of Holiness Dalai Lama's message and his birthday. So the message, he said, when you have anger, think about my face. So that's also, I think, very powerful, because we, you know, due to our emotion, we don't have a mind for emotion control us. We don't have support. So we think about these teachers, Yadam deities, you know, then shame for ourselves become. We create emotions ourselves, we don't recognize. Then this teacher is a support. You know, when this teacher is apart from our mind, then we recognize, oh, you know, I am crazy, emotion control us, or shame ourselves. So that's a, you know, it's good way to, when you have anger, which teacher you have a connection, that teacher is bringing in your mind. Which Yadam deity you have a connection, that Yadam deity is bringing in your mind. So the holiness says that is his birthday gift. When you have anger, he said, remind my face. This is my birthday gift. So that kind of, you know, we have to cultivate a thing, actually really helps us, support our protection from the emotion. When we have emotion, we don't recognize emotion control us, then we just follow the emotion, we create the causes of suffering ourselves, for we create the causes of suffering for others. We use this spiritual, you know, support, then we can create, you know, causes of happiness ourselves, we can create the causes of happiness for others. Totally, we can go, you know, right direction, free from wrong direction. Samsaric path, we can change it to spiritual path. So that's why we need this guide, spiritual beings, and Dharma. Then one day, when you are become interdependent practitioner, then you no rely on auto level spiritual guide. Until that, we have to thank our guru. We have to think about, visualize Yadam, and then chant the prayer. Is you know, we need support. So that's the way, you know, it's here I just sharing with you is we need something very powerful support is who has realizers. Then repeat this many times and bring forth the compassion and the bodhicitta within your mind stream. So we have to chant this prayer. My mothers are, you know, mothers are exhausted from the painful misery and evil that they have experienced for my sake in countless lives. In order to liberate them from the ocean of existing, I shall follow the supreme path of enlightenment. So cultivate love, wishing them, our mothers, free from, have happiness is love, wishing them free from suffering is a compassion, then wanting to liberate from samsara, that is called bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is, we truly want liberate our mothers from samsara. So we 100% recognize samsara is suffering. Then no longer wishing samsara, so anything benefit from samsara. Wanting to liberate from samsara is called bodhicitta. So that prayer we have to chant many times here, page 61. Repeat this many times and bring forth the compassion and the bodhicitta within your mind stream. In all your daily activity, never separate from the wish to do your best to help all sentient beings and to bring about their happiness. So we wanted to help, wanted to benefit, and that's always we cultivate. Within such practice, all precepts of the Bodhisattva vow are included, and everything you do will become a practice of the 6 paramitas. So, whatever with activity, always wanted to benefit others. That is called aspiring bodhicitta. Long as you have that aspiring, then your activity, everything is engaging bodhicitta. Engaging bodhicitta is followed by 6 paramita. So our every activity can be generosity, can be morality, can be passion, can be joyful effort, can be meditation, the wisdom. So every activity bring into these 6 perfections. So that's the Bodhisattva's activity. Within such practice, all precepts of the Bodhisattva vow are included, and everything you do will become a practice 6 paramitas. That is called engaging bodhicitta. The benefits of bodhicitta endless. So then that kind of activity benefit is endless. Sancho Simrat Tambate Sonamter Deliti Song Sanje Tamje Raptenjum, Delen Jikin Roaki Dewanjin, then it Jaren Hapim, Lipa Tamjinjum. Okay, so our Masaka Sutra says, so I don't know exactly how to read. This sutra says, this sutra is no parpochil, no parchin. It's a very important sutra. This sutra is parpochis and no parchins. Usually readers, chant this whole volume. It's really one big volume, no parpochis. The chant, family also requests the readers chant this volume in Tibetan tradition. So in that sutra says, all the Buddhas of the 3 times automatically arise from the excellent pure mind of bodhicitta, the treasure trove of merit. Then where is this 3 times Buddhas come from? It arises from bodhicitta. Source is, Buddha's source is bodhicitta. I don't know, you study one of the texts is called Chandrakirti's middleway part. And in the beginning, he homage to love. What he says, I homage to love. Love is the source, compassion is arise. Compassion is the source, bodhicitta is arise. Bodhicitta is the source, Buddha is arise. Buddha is the source, Shavaka, Pakika Buddhas arise. So when Buddha shared the teachings, then Shavakas, Pakika Buddhas comes. The listening to the teaching. So where the Buddha is the source is bodhicitta. So actually bodhicitta is the precious. Then the bodhicitta's source is compassion, compassion source is love. So that's why Shantideva's Chandrakirti say, I'm homage to the love. Because all this source quality is love. So here see, Buddha, 3 times Buddha has come from bodhicitta. So the point is, all enlightening quality source is bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, then no possible enlightening beings. Samsara cause is self-grasping. Enlightening source is bodhicitta. So then true happiness source is bodhicitta. True benefit for others is also bodhicitta. Our own protection is bodhicitta. Others' protection also bodhicitta. If you wanted to protect others, is also bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is antidote to all our causes of suffering. That's why here, within this practice, preserve of Bodhisattva, all these Buddhas of the 3 times automatically arise from this excellent pure mind of bodhicitta, the treasure trove of merit. All the happiness of worldly beings arise from it. All the worldly happiness source is bodhicitta. All goodness extra led by victorious ones arise from it. They also victorious free from samsara, also bodhicitta. It consumes the obscuration of all worlds. So all the source happiness is bodhicitta. All the praise to quality, 3 times Buddha's praise, quality is bodhicitta. The bodhicitta is purification, purify all our obstacles, afflictive emotions. Bodhicitta is purification. Bodhicitta is enlightening qualities. So the bodhicitta's supreme enlightening quality. So once it consumes the obscuration of all worlds, see, without purify all obstacles. Without adopt, it is the true bodhicitta that one will become foremost among the virtuous ones. Furthermore, Lord Jigten Songkun say in the Gonchek, the Buddha is embodiment of all bodhicitta. So Buddha means embodiment of bodhicitta. If bodhicitta is present, one cannot help but attain awakening. It's missing the bodhicitta thing. Then no one can enlightened. So long as you have a bodhicitta, no one can stop you enlightened. If you missing bodhicitta, no possible Buddha enlightened. If you have a bodhicitta, no one can stop your enlightenment. One cannot help but attain awakening. If it is absent, no matter what other practice, generation, and the completion stage, and so forth. So without the bodhicitta, then no essence, any whatever we do practice, no essence. It's everything is performing. So we during the Yadam deity ritual practice also no essence. Generation stage, meditation, no essence. That's why one cannot help but attain awakening. If it is absent, no matter what other practice, generation, and the completion stage, and so forth, one does, they will amount to another more than a faked, I think. Therefore, is the three special preliminaries are the essence of our paths. Cultivate them earnestly until they have taken birth within your mind stream. So long as you have a bodhicitta, then everything is perfect actually. So that is the three different level preliminary practice is finished actually here. So we have a basic preliminary practice, grown preliminary practice, four thoughts meditation, whole general Buddhist, then Tibetan, the lineages, uncommon preliminary practice, refuge, prostration, Varjasawa, then mandala, that four is like uncommon preliminary practice. All this Tibetan tradition, all the lineage has. Then Guru Yoga is extra. Some lineage has, some not. So this special preliminary practice is especially Mahamudra meditator practitioners use this special preliminary practice. So we have all these three different preliminary practices here in this sadhana. We finish all this preliminary practice teaching. So when you finish this practice, then go to the page 63. So on Sanskrit alphabet mantra, on a e o r r l l e on ka ka ga nga sa sa nya ta 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 na ta 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 na pa pa ma ma ya lo sha sa cha om ye dharma he ta ba he te ta nga da he wa de ke sa yon ro om bod ma shama na ye soha. So the beginning we have these mantras. That means you are going into practice. So end means like when you chant this, you are coming back to post meditation. You know, you're going into the practice, you finish practice. So what do we do this when we handle practice? I think I already shared with you, they have different sections. You can starting from, you know, bodhicitta and with four measurable, I mean the four thoughts meditation, then go into visualize, refuge tree, and doing prostration refuge. When you finish that section, then you come all the way to here to conclusion. You can skip the Varjasawa, Mandala, Guru Yoga, and other these sections. You can skip. You can chant, also nothing wrong. You know, when I was in monastery, we chant because we can chant very fast. So no, you chant the English and take really long. If you wanted to skip, that's also possible too. So you can directly to here. Or you finish 4 thoughts practice and then go to directly to Vajrasattva. You can go directly to Mandala. You can go directly to Guru Yoga after 4 thoughts. You can go directly to special preliminary practice. Then when you finish, you chant this one. So when you finish this, then chant the Vajrasattva, because if we practice as like dualistic conceptual thoughts, mind is not in the present, follow the thoughts, so that kind of distractions, and we confess Vajrasa Om Benza Sato Samaya Manapalaya Benza Sato Tinoba Romebas Mebas Anerato Mebas Mindas Rakam Samet Kuro ha 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 Hobanga Sato Bama Samai Sato A. Then after this page 65 has say it the completion of the practice. So this was says Junha means like increasing mantra. Tiyata Pinchandaya Awan Bodane Soa Om Ruru Dar Muke Soa On Hanabasha Bara Hridaya Soha. It's 7 times. So that helps here says increasing. Also here says repeat 108 times on Ahong could be. Other is 7 times. Then you can do dedication. So now we chant together. Mahong Zara Sanje Nawan Daye Da Yes Jo Duje Jembo Da Yonde Semban Deje Donala Sanje Sansen Ba Min Korji Ko Deje Ngom Zara Bade Me Ba Ye Dewa Jinje Save Yengam Der Da Yen Ne Zembe Jerma Da Jewa Jinje Parma Chupar Tere Chine Nande Shandong Yon de Ge Da Ge Mulan Da Bandi Soje Sanje Sansen Danje Je Kemen Jabara Sinje Lab De So Dia Da Benzan Jaya Awan Boden Naye Soha Sanjo Semjo Rinpoche Ma Je Banan Je Jo Je Je Ba Nyam Ba Me Ba Yang Gong Ne Gong Den Pe War Shu Song Nam De Ye Dam Je Si Pa Nye Tom Na Yin Pe Zha Nam Ban Se Ji Ga Nam Je Ba Lun Zhu Ba Ye Si Ben So Len Zhou Wa Re Shu Yang Ba Ra Ba We Je Da Ran Chen Ba Ben De Zang Bo De Yang De Yin De Da Gen Je Ji Se Da Lo Ge Wan De Da Dam Je Ra De Ngo San Je Ge San Yi Be Sin La Qin Ye Men Je Re Den Be Sin La Dan Gen Den Be Sin De Be Sin La Jia Dang Ngo Yen Mong Lan Zhe Ba Re Xiu Da Dang Gong De Tam Je Je Di Som De Sa Pa Yu Be Ge Be Za Wan De Da Dang Sem Je Dam Nyor De Na Na Me Ba Yang Da Ba Re Zo Be San Jo Rinpo Je Do Ba Re Ju Je Tang Re Ra We Go We Shen Gan De Pen Dan De Wa Ma Lin Jung We Ne Jin Re Zi Wang Den Zhen Jiang Zo Ye Xia Bei Xin De Bar De Den Jo Re Je Gong Jo Sum De Xia Jia Xin Ge Ye Den Ban Zhen Jin Per We Dan Ye Gen San Je Ben Zhong Den Ten Len Len Zhou Je Zhen La Ma Re So Wan De Gong Jo Sum Je Dan Ye Zhi Gong Den Ban Zhen La Dan Zhe Du Je Dan Bei Qi Jie Ye Se Ren Na Wa Ji Ge Wong Jin Zhou Ge Xia Den So Hao Bei Yon Na Aryan De Wa Do Kam So Sen Gar Je Re Se Ji Den Gong Bei Du Se Je Den Par Den Garchen Ke Se Ka Jia Den Nin De Jia Chen Nya Chen Ne Kam To Do Dor Je Ta We Dor Yo Rime Tempe Korje Dage Ye Tempe Nyaman Garchen Sham Den So Lama Geng Kan San War So Wan Den Cho De Ke Se Ren War So Wan Den Chen Le Dar Yin Je War So Lama Dandrava Mebara Sinja Lo Pardin Laman Ambara Darba La Geje Saya Loda Meje Jinze Lebaran Tongwe Megeje Lame Sen Love Sen Lan Jubara Sho Simjen Tamje Dedan Danger Ngondro Tamje Tade Tombara Sho Sanjo Semba Kanda Sajo Teda Genje Monlan George Shiza Genze Genjin Chije Je Temder Nela Wando Digon Rinchen Parje Temba Sinde Shedo De Sangong Ben Zinjoroje. They have lots of dedications, so you can skip many there too, or you want to do a whole thing, it's up to you. Okay, so now we finish it. And do you have any questions or? Hello, Tashidela, everyone then.
Melissa has her hand raised, Kempo.
Oh, Melissa, no questions. She absolute truth states. I'm kidding. Where's Melissa?
I don't have a question.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, Kempola, that your nickname is Everything is Mahamudra. And I want to thank our Enlightenment Sangha brothers and sisters. A beautiful shrine in front of you, a beautiful cabin for you. They're spoiling you again, but bless them, and bless you, Kempola. That's all. Thank you for these teachings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kempola. Very beautiful. Thank you for the teachings and the offerings.
Thank you, everyone. So then see you tomorrow.
There is one more question, Kempo. Rebecca has her hand raised.
Oh, Kempo, thank you so much. Every teaching, you always say something I need to hear. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So back tomorrow morning for daily practice at 9 a.m. and then at 11, Kempo, for the Milarepa songs of Milarepa. Same
Yes.
time. Okay, great.
We also have tomorrow